Okay guys, so this is part 2 of my video. I'm extra greasy today. Today's one of those off days where you have your kind of ups and down days with hypothyroidism. I have been dealing with this for, my son is 3, so for almost 4 years, or almost 4.5 to 5 years. I haven't had a lot of issues, but I have had my times of, scares, and I'm constantly going to the doctor. But this part of the video is actually going to talk about from the point that I found out that I was pregnant up until the point where I had my son. And I hope that this video really resonates with someone out there. The problem is with thyroid issues, infertility is also another major part of having a thyroid and not having a thyroid. And also, if you notice, the ends of my eyebrows are actually very sparse. That is also another side effect of hypothyroidism. That's also a kind of a way that you can tell that you're having an issue with your thyroid, is if you start getting thinning in certain areas of your eyebrows, and then also your hair kind of changes the texture and stuff like that. So about 4 weeks after I got my thyroid taken out, I found out that I was, lo and behold, 6 weeks pregnant with my son, who is now 3 years old. It was really kind of outrageous how I found out I was pregnant, because I had gotten my thyroid taken out on August the 4th of 2012. And September the 4th, I decided, man, I haven't been feeling really well. And I took a pregnancy test and found out that I was pregnant. So I went to the ER. I'm one of those people, I don't like to wait very long. And the ER attending had me do, ultrasound and stuff like that. And come to find out I was 6 weeks pregnant, close to 6 weeks. So that tells you within that timeline that I had major surgery, underwent anesthesia, all of that good stuff. My thyroid levels were, out of whack. And pre-op never found out that I was pregnant, even though we did, our blood tests, and we did all of our pre-op, scheduled blood tests, and pregnancy is the #1 test, and it did not show up. So that was a major scare for me when I had my son. During the pregnancy, for those of you who may be pregnant and also dealing with hypo or hyperthyroidism, because I have a very close relative who also is dealing with hyperthyroidism, and it kind of falls into the same realm. We just have different side effects. Every 2 months, I was at LabCorp or Quest giving blood, checking my levels for the entire 9 months of pregnancy. Every 2 months. The dosage of my Synthroid, which this is my Synthroid, I take this every single day of my life. And I take vitamin D, 50,000 units once a week, every week for the rest of my life. And I actually tried to get off of this vitamin D because it does make your muscle mass and your bone mass a little on the heavy side. That's another side effect of it. And I recently went and had, my levels checked, and come to find out my vitamin D was extremely low. And I've been having a lot of aches in my bones for the past couple months, and I wasn't sure why. I'm thinking I don't need the vitamin D. Vitamin D is a part of your calcium levels too. And I was thinking I didn't need it when actually I do. So I'm now making sure that I do take my vitamin D every single week. I've also had the bouts when I was pregnant where it hadn't really gotten into my mind that I was having this thyroid issue. I've never had a major surgery before. I had a breast reduction once before, and you can also look at that video on, the ins and outs of breast reduction. But to really grasp that I was really gonna have to do something for the rest of my life, during the time of me being pregnant, I kept noticing that my heart was constantly racing. Constantly. It was almost to the point where you could feel your heart come out of your mouth, how much it was racing and how fast and how hard it was pounding. And I was talking to my best friend on the phone, and she's like, Crystal, are you taking your thyroid meds? I'm like, yeah, I take them here and there. Mind you, this is like 3-4 months into being pregnant. So I'm 3-4 months out of surgery, still healing, not really paying it any attention. You know, the surgery was very smooth. I was more trying to adjust to the fact that I was pregnant again with my third child. I'm like, yeah, you know, I take it. She's like, no, are you taking it every single day like you're supposed to? By this point, I was probably not taking it for over a week. I was thinking like it's, you know, I don't have to take it. I do. And I did. And it was affecting me during my pregnancy a lot because I was not taking it. I was skipping doses. I wasn't really caring about it as much because I thought it wasn't that important. I didn't even know what a thyroid was until I had the surgery. Let's be honest. So I started going back into taking my medication on time, and I noticed my heart stopped racing. I noticed I stopped having so many headaches. I was having migraines out this world, and I thought that maybe it was just because of me being pregnant, when all in all, I was really inducing it myself by just not taking my medication, not really getting a hold of the fact that I was hypothyroid. You know, I was on the lower end of my thyroid, and it was really attacking my body. And, you know, pregnancy also attacks the body because it's something different. You're caring for another being. And my endocrinologist actually had to kind of warn me and tell me, hey, if you don't get this under control, your son could suffer from it as well. That scared the hell out of me because my son is my everything. Your children are your everything. It's not even just my son because I have 2 girls as well. So I had to really, really get in the grasp of just making sure that I took it every morning on an empty stomach. And then being pregnant, I was eating through the roof. So it was like making sure that I was staying on schedule, make sure that I'm not missing days, you know, making sure that I'm taking it with enough water, make sure I'm taking my vitamin D because that controls my calcium. Your fingertips will start to tingle, stuff like that if you're not up on your calcium levels. And I noticed that a lot of times when I was skipping the vitamin D, my fingers would start going numb from time to time on my fingertips. I get a lot of headaches. I just got so many different issues, you know, during the time of my pregnancy. So lo and behold, I give birth to my son in 2013. Healthy baby boy. But here's the thing. And I think that my thyroid had a lot to do with it. My son was 9.5 pounds. And I gained about 30 to 35 pounds. It took me a very long time to get down off of those pounds after having my son. And that's when I really, really started going really hard with my weight loss products and my weight loss company, because I saw that there was such a market out there for people who were just like me and are just like me, where in the blink of an eye, you gain those pounds. In the blink of an eye, if you just miss a dose or your body's just not even absorbing your medication properly, just like that, pounds start packing on. And of course, all the other issues with the muscle spasms and the back aches and the headaches and the finger numbness and the insomnia. Oh man, I had so much insomnia during my pregnancy. It was crazy. I barely slept. I was so tired because my body was just adjusting, and it really thought at that point that pregnancy was the normal me. So imagine being hypothyroid, just finding out your body's just getting a hold of the fact that you are hypothyroid and the fact that you're pregnant. So my body thought that the levels that I was on during my pregnancy is the normal. My son is 3. My levels on my thyroid medicine is still the same. So that tells you a lot. You know, it took me a long time to get down. It took me a long time to really, you know, come to bat with the fact that I had an autoimmune disease. You know, and it's like now I see people who have thyroid issues, and I'm so adamant. I'm such an advocate for making sure women getting their levels checked, making sure men are getting their levels checked, because I have family members who are male and they're hyper. Because it attacks their prostate. It attacks all kinds of stuff for men in their sexual drive. Same thing for women. You know, my sex drive was not the best, you know, but I battled through a lot of that stuff. So now I'm really an advocate of hypothyroidism, weight loss, weight gain, detoxing, watching what you're eating, you know, just making sure you're trying to take care of yourself in between this nasty disease that it's a silent disease at that. You don't know it's there until you check for it. So that is kind of the history behind me and how I really got so into my weight loss and my weight loss company, and what made me really even keep going and really putting it out there and letting people know that I am on that end of the scale. And after my son, I really got big. Man, I got huge. I was huge. Usually I would snap right back. And I had a cesarean, so now that kangaroo pouch won't ever go away, you know? So just, if you're one of those women out there where you are battling with hypothyroidism, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you're going through. Sometimes you just want to hear from someone else, and you never know that you can just get some help. That someone that's going through it already or has gone through it already knows what it's like and can give you some pointers. I'll be glad to, you know, even aside from it just being about my weight loss and all that good stuff. And no, I am a complete advocate for thyroidism or hypothyroidism. That is like, that's where I'm at, and you're forever on that end of the scale unless your body reverses, and it's very rare that you reverse backwards. You always go forward. So my name is Crystal once again. I'm the owner of Ultimate Weight Loss Company. My contact details are down below. I welcome anyone who has any questions, or you are one that just started the journey and you really don't know how to adjust to this. Email me, comment. I'll be glad to help you, you know, to the best of my ability, because I've gone through it all between pregnancy and hypothyroidism. And I'm like on that scale of the high blood pressure, and it's just so many different things that you go through with this disease. Medications for the rest of your life, you know. Even now, I'm afraid to take anything else. That's just an anxiety of mine, because I'm taking something for the rest of my life. You're afraid to mix it with anything, you know. So I look forward to hearing from everyone out there. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.